Hello, everyone. Welcome to Stay Paid, the sales and marketing podcast from ReminderMedia, where we talk about the strategies and tactics to help grow your business so you can live a life of freedom tomorrow, but only if you take action today. My name is Joshua Stike, Vice President of Marketing here at ReminderMedia, and with me is Luke Acree, President of ReminderMedia.
What is up, everybody?
And today we are going to be talking about writing a mission and vision statement for your business, and maybe even more accurately, I'm just going to say it, how to write a mission statement that doesn't suck. Because I think that is so common now. I mean, there's parodies being written about this. There's jokes. I think even one of the books we were reading had like a joke of Dunder Mifflin's like mission statement, where there's just hyperbole and generic buzzwords and everything written in that. So what we want to do is we want to take our experience, because we just went through this for a third time as a business. So we have some expertise in writing mission statements that sucked. Yeah. And so now we're really kind of focused on, I feel like this is the first time that as a company we've been able to say, we can speak on this on experience and with a little bit of expertise. But tell us, I guess, why this is a sales podcast. So kind of start us off by, why would a sales podcast tackle the topic of mission vision statement?
It's a great question. Yeah, because this is a sales podcast all about helping you increase your sales and grow your business. Here's the thing. I think the hardest thing in sales is the rejection that you face. Like the reason why people don't last in sales is because they face rejection after rejection after rejection. And the key to like a vision statement or a mission statement, right? And we can get into the differences between them, but it really is your guiding light. Yeah. And when I say guiding light, there's two things I think of that really, with sales is essential, is that when you're facing that rejection, when you're door knocking that neighborhood and the 20th door slams the door on you, right. You got nothing left, baby. You got no emotional support there. You have to go back to your reason of why you exist, and to be that kind of guiding light, that force in your life, in your business. A lot of times, like your vision statement ultimately is where you want to be. Mm-hmm. And when we went through the process, and I don't know if we want to dive into it now or not, but when we looked at the vision statement, I was reading all about creating good vision statements versus mission statements. And one of the videos I watched and articles I read talked about how your vision really shouldn't be necessarily a statement. It really should be a description of how you want to see the world and how you want to see your company within the world. It should be a more descriptive process, because it is this BHAG. If you guys don't know what BHAG is, it's big, hairy, audacious goal. Yep. So it's really your BHAG of where you want to get to. It's almost unobtainable. You're never going to reach your ultimate vision. And the reason why we're talking about it today on Stay Paid in this podcast is because in sales, if you don't have a vision for where you want to be in this world and how you want to change the world, for lack of a better word, not to get all corny and cliche, but how you want to better the world and change the world, chances are when you face that rejection of multiple hangups or doors slammed in your face, you're going to give up, because it can't just be about the money. If it's just about the money, well, you're going to end up, I'll be honest, you're going to end up where I've made money in my life. I've made money now, and I realized that, it can't be just about the money, because if it's just about the money, you kind of people can be satisfied at different levels. Right. And so it has to be more than just about the money. Right. Yeah. So when you're facing that rejection in sales, you gotta know why you exist.
And that goes to why you're even writing the mission statement to begin with. You're not writing this mission statement for your clients or to put on your website or to put on your marketing, because as hard as it is to say, nobody cares about your mission statement. Yeah, your clients do not care about your mission statement. What mission statement does, and I think we read a book called The Advantage by Patrick Lencioni, and what he really kind of compared it to was, picture a company that doesn't have clarity or cohesiveness on what they want to achieve. And then picture a company who internally, or a business, any business that internally has an understanding of who they are and what they're setting out to achieve. And that's your mission statement. That's the advantage that you have over all of these other companies. So it's not about wordsmithing. It's not about buzzwords. It's not about making yourself grandiose or sound great. It's literally about getting down to the brass tacks of what you're about, so that when you get that door slammed in your face, you can come back to it and say, well, wait a minute, that hurt, but my mission is to do this, and I ain't going to stop until I hit that.
And the number one thing that, I've been mentioning lately, because I went to that Tony Robbins conference or whatever, and now I'm following Tony. Hands on the heart, put your hands on your heart, envision the world, all that good stuff that he does. But he talks about the key in business is focus, focus, focus. Your mission statement and your vision statement really, really helps you focus. Because what we've struggled with in our company and growing this business, and still to this day, I was on one of our competitors' websites today because I just do that for fun. And on our competitors and saw something they were doing. Inspiration. And saw something they were doing. And you know what I immediately wanted to do? Oh, we got to do that too. Right? And so, but what this vision and this mission statement should do is it should be that guiding light. In fact, when I put on my Facebook, somebody commented and said that the vision statement and the mission statement to them has really been essential in helping them. And they even use their family. They have a family mission, right? And a family vision statement. And it's been a guiding light to them in making decisions of what not to do.
Right.
And I commented back and said, you know what I struggle with the most? What I struggle with the most is actually saying no. It's harder for me to say no than it is for me to say yes.
Does this opportunity align with my mission? And if not, I have to have the discipline and the courage to say no to some of those things, knowing that I'm on this mission to do this other thing.
Yep, correct, which is extremely difficult to do. And if you don't have it, and if you haven't really committed to it, you will just be dictated by the emotions of that day.
Right. That's where it comes in, where your business is running you. You're not running your business. You're not living that life of freedom. You're not planning ahead, kind of doing what hits you. So let's just kind of go over what a mission statement is. The definition of a mission statement from Business Dictionary is a written declaration of an organization's core purpose and focus that normally remains unchanged over time. So I think a lot of time that's where people think they read that and they hear, oh man, I have to make this perfectly worded mission statement. And I think the thing to remember is it's not about the process of writing a mission statement. It's about the process of going on a mission. And how do you then get that down on paper that you can keep coming back to as this guiding light? Don't spend a lot of time wordsmithing. In reality, you should be spending the majority of your time when writing your mission statement asking questions. You should be asking the hard questions. And there's this process, and I'll go back to the book, The Advantage, that he uses, where I think it's the 6 whys. Right? Why do you exist? To do this. Why? To do this. Why? Because
I do that in interviews.
Why? And it just keeps pushing you to that higher purpose. And so some of the questions that you can ask, some of the processes that you can go through is answering that question. Why do you exist as a business? Why are you in business to begin with? It doesn't have to be obvious if you're a real estate agent. It doesn't have to be helping people find their dream homes, right? I mean, your mission might be to help raise awareness for homelessness, and you're doing that in a method that allows you to stay paid. You can collect income because you're selling homes, but everything that you do leads back to how am I reinvesting and raising awareness for this cause that I'm interested in, that I'm really on a mission for. So, it doesn't have to be to sell 60 homes this year.
Correct.
Like that's not a mission.
In fact, the more probably material driven it is, the less it is truly your mission.
Right.
And as weird as that sounds, it's like the more, like in our kind of process of going through our mission statement and our problem was we tried to fit everything we wanted to do.
Well, let me read our first mission statement.
Read the first one.
So our first mission statement was, well, it was good because it started off with the belief, because everything has to start with the belief. We believe that relationships are critical to a business's future success. Our mission is to inspire, develop, and deliver innovative ways for business professionals to identify, attract, engage, and stay connected with their key clients.
You can tell we wanted to put every type of descriptive.
We got everything in there. Well, we can't leave out identify. We can't leave out engage. So then when we went through this process again and using some of the questions that we'll continue to go through, what's the new mission statement?
Our new mission statement is our mission is to empower our clients to close more deals and retain more business.
That's it.
Very simple.
That's it. That's why we do this.
Well, that was one of the things that was crazy is
we do it because we love sales.
We
do it because we love relationships. We love helping people. There's a real passion at the top of our organization that is all about how do I help the next person sell better. And for us, that's internally. How are we helping our salespeople sell better? How are we helping our marketers sell better? How are we helping the folks that are cleaning photos for our customers sell better? And then how are we helping our clients, most importantly, sell better?
It was hard when we were going through the process, when he just read you that first mission statement. One of the reasons why it turned out that way is because we were more thinking about what people would think about it,
right,
more than what we actually truly believed. What we actually truly believed in and what we truly were doing. And your comments on the key to writing a good mission statement or vision statement, a lot of the people listening to this are probably single entities, meaning like it's themselves. Right. They don't probably have a lot of staff. But for us, the critical point that we had to look into was asking the questions of each other. I remember sitting around our executive table and saying to all of you guys, everybody go write your own.
Right.
As if if you didn't know, we didn't want to influence each other, go write as you would say it today. And it was amazing to see people were very similar, but there were so many.
We were all looking at the same house, but we were looking at different sides of the house.
And what we were responsible for. So if you were responsible for building the roof, or the customer service, well, you were doing it through a service-based mission statement, right? Which is not bad because you can have mission statements for departments. So don't think you can't have a mission statement for the department. I would tell you that you need that to tie back to the overall mission statement. Otherwise, you're going to be misaligned, and then you lose out on the advantage that Patrick Leocioni or whatever his name is talks about. But I just remember it was so enlightening to go around and ask everybody before we tried to get into a room and brainstorm it. We asked everybody, write down yours.
Yeah.
So that's a great exercise for you. If you have staff, go ask them what they think the mission of the company is. Go ask them what they think the core values are. I think of my brother who has a couple people on staff now. He listens to this podcast. Stephen, go ask your staff if they were to write it down. What would they say your mission of your company is versus what you would say? And do it in different rooms. Don't do it together because it's got to be authentic. It's got to be real. And look at what you come up with and then try to look at the theme that might be there. Not the words, the theme that's coming out of all these different, because we have, 9 executives. So we got 9 different types of.
So the next question you want to ask yourself is, how do you behave on a daily basis? So this is one of those things where it sounds a little weird, but it's, what do you do? How do you react? How are you prioritizing things? We talked last week about your prioritizing. How are you prioritizing your activities and your behaviors throughout your day? Because ultimately, that's going to point you back to your purpose, your mission. What you do is who you are, kind of thing. So even when we started looking at, all right, well, what are some of the behaviors that we do? And so much of it turned back to this celebrating success through sales and things like that. And it really kind of made it helped us gain clarity on, man, do we get excited when a client has success?
Yep.
Man, do we get pumped up when somebody sends us a testimony or something? In our minds, it doesn't even go to, this is great, we can start using this in the marketing. It's like, this is great. Someone had success because of what we taught them, the product that they sent out for us, following up, whatever that is. So that's kind of your behaviors. How do you respond to certain situations? And then this isn't like, your mission statement isn't going to be, my mission is to behave this way, but it helps to uncover some of this clarity and some of these questions for that.
I would agree. And I think in our process of going through our mission statement, like I said, the hardest part was being authentic and being truly who we really are, because our struggle is, you guys know us. I mean, we produce an amazing magazine that's the highest quality. We're producing content out the butt, meaning like we have recipes, we have DIYs being created. So we have all these other things that our company could be about. Even like, I think of like my YouTube channel and the coaching I'm doing on YouTube and stuff. We're doing all this other stuff. But when it really came down to it, about what we all look back to as the guiding light of the organization, it really wasn't how good that recipe was. Mm-hmm. It really wasn't how good of a video that I put together on our YouTube channel. What it really truly was did that recipe tie back to somehow our client closing a deal? Because if it closed a deal, then guess what? They're going to come and buy again, and they're going to be, with us again. And I tell this on interviews all the time, is I tell the key to a great organization, which is the purpose of your mission statement, your vision statement is to align the organization, is I tell my people that, look, if my software developers, if I can't stop them in the hall, or my people who are making recipes, I can't stop them and say, hey, tell me today how that code you wrote Tell me how it ties back to either directly or indirectly, how it ties back to our clients closing a deal, which ultimately is a commission check in their bank account, which ultimately is a nicer school for their kids, food on their table, bills, freedom in their life. Tell me how what you did today does that. And that is essential, because then every oar on the boat is rowing in the same direction. Every line of code, they're thinking through this mission of how is this helping my clients be empowered to close more deals and retain more business? And now they know, okay, I'm not going to write that piece of code. No, I'm not going to make that recipe. No, I'm not going to. So it's just so essential.
So then the next question you want to ask yourself, and this one's an obvious one, but what do you do? This is where you just straight write it down, no frills, just literally, what do you do? Don't use any adjectives or descriptors in terms
you
of
identify,
best in
inspire,
class or best
innovate.
in world. Just straight write down what it is that your business does. And then the last one is, how will you succeed? So in your mind, what is going to set you up for success in what you do? And then begin to continue to dig deeper into, well, why will that help me succeed? Why will that help me succeed? Why will that help me succeed? And then that'll eventually get to the point where you're going to find things that, well, wait a minute, maybe that's not why we exist, or maybe that won't be what will help us succeed.
Yeah, you'll see if it's more of just a marketing strategy versus a mission statement. I think a lot of times when it comes to writing, like we talked about your unique value proposition on one of our podcasts, and we said it's not a slogan. The same goes for your mission statement. What you'll find is, like, when you start writing down, hey, what you actually do and how will you succeed, you'll see the difference between just a marketing campaign and actually something that's a core value principle of the business is what it will help you do.
So if you've gone through that exercise and you feel you have a good mission statement, the next question is what to do with it when you have it. The answer is live it, be consistent with it. If you have a team, make sure every single person on your team or organization knows about it.
And that's hard. That's so hard. I freaking have 220 people, and I can't say everybody knows the mission statement by heart. It drives me freaking nuts. But we try to reiterate it over and over again in our morning meetings, and put it in your hiring, put it in your performance reviews, put it in all those things to start it implementing throughout your organization. But they have got to memorize it.
All right. So then we have vision statement, and I just came up with a clever rhyme about the difference between a mission statement and a vision statement. Do you want to hear it?
This guy's a wordsmith.
Want to hear it?
Yeah, let's
hear it.
A
mission statement is what you proclaim to be. A vision statement is where you aim to be. Come on.
Yo, Andrea, trademark that. Put that as a quote.
That's good.
On our social media
We got to Google that. Make sure
channels.
no one else is there to use that.
Say that again. A mission statement is who you proclaim to be.
A mission statement is what you proclaim to be. A vision statement is where you aim to be.
Dude, man, this guy, he's going to be in a rap battle soon.
Definition of vision statement on Business Dictionary is an aspirational description of what an organization would like to achieve or accomplish in the midterm or long term. So you talked about this a little bit already. Yeah. This is your BHAG. This is kind of, you want to go on a road trip without some form of direction. This is kind of what it is. What is your vision of the world?
Yep.
Then how do you see yourself playing into that vision of the world? And then how do you align your daily activities with eventually getting to that point? Your strategic decisions, right? This is more of a strategy versus tactics. Your mission might dictate your tactics of the day. Your vision really kind of sets up your strategy. It lets you answer those questions. Do we want to go after that opportunity?
Do we acquire this next company? Do we launch this other product? Does it help us get there? As you were saying that, what was popping into my mind, I had a conversation with my father this past week, and someone close to us passed away, and it was a young guy in his 40s and just an accident. And something was said at the funeral that just had triggered in my mind when you were saying that, which is, are you living for your resume or are you living for your eulogy?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a really deep quote, man. We could freaking unpack that. It moved me. But the point of like your vision is kind of that same concept. Yeah. Your mission is what you're doing today to accomplish, the goals and the objectives of the organization. But that vision is your legacy. Yeah. That vision is at the end of your life, at the end of your business. Like, even I think about this all the time for Reminder Media. 100 years from now, who do I want Reminder Media to be? Like, what do I want it to be? Because that's the vision and you realize right then, when you start thinking 100 years, You realize it transcends technology, products. Right. It transcends all that because you don't know what's going to be there. It's going to be a world of robots in 100 years. Meaning the point being is you got to think of what is that legacy that you want it to be. And this is, I'm going to be real right now. We've had we have employee issues like every company does, but we've had some employee issues recently that have made me have to make some really tough decisions. Yeah. Right? And the tough decisions really are, who do we want Reminder Media to be? Because there's no real right answer. Right. There's two options, and one puts a definite distinction of the character of who we choose to be and what we value. And this other one is, we value something different. And that makes me go and think of the vision of Reminder Media, and it transcends money, the products, all those things. So you're living for your resume, you're living for your eulogy.
And don't get caught up. I mean, a lot of people think we wrote our vision statement and it's long. And a lot of the feedback that we got immediately was, hey, it's too long. And we thought about that and thought, well, but this was really kind of, so you don't want your vision statement to be vague. It cannot be something that isn't tangible. It has to be big and hairy and audacious and
almost never obtainable.
But it's it can't be vague. It has to be precise. It has to be a clear thought that will help you really reevaluate your passions and your ambitions for growing your business. And so the process that we did, and kind of to reiterate that, I said it a little bit in the beginning, but was to take yourself out of the business, or take you and your business out of the equation, and just picture what that world looks like 100 years from now. If you want to do 50 years from now, whatever gets you started, picture what that world looks like. And then step two is insert yourself into that world and what role you're playing to create that vision.
Yeah, I mean, this was a super powerful process for me, is thinking of it less as a statement, thinking of more of like a description of how I see the world. Like, how do you see the world? What do you want the world to be? You want to read I can read our vision statement.
Yeah,
right now. It's a little long, but our vision is to create a world where business owners and sales professionals never worry about who to contact, how to contact them, or when to contact them. They never worry about sending the wrong thing to one of their most valued relationships or forgetting to follow up with their best client. We envision creating a world where these professionals can spend more time with their friends and family and less time worrying about their marketing. We envision creating tools and services that seamlessly connect to help business professionals generate, acquire, nurture, and retain the relationships that matter most to their success. So you see right there, it's pretty big, funny. The first hairy, audacious.
First time that I heard it, it felt genuine. It felt like it was just, here's what I envisioned. It wasn't, I spent time writing and rewriting each paragraph to sound perfectly right, and I edited for length, and I made sure that it was easily memorable. It was just, it felt genuine, it felt authentic, so immediately I connected with it. And we've noticed some of our team members here in the organization have actually been putting it to memory.
Yes.
And we have one guy.
We had Brian Falone on the podcast.
We have one guy on our team, Brian, who will literally every meeting that we have, he'll stand up there and he can't wait to get called out at the next quarterly meeting to do this.
The whole
so he can recite the whole thing. But he's memorized the whole thing. And when you start to really pick that thing apart, it helps to show you, the decisions that you're making on a daily basis. Are they leading you closer to that vision? Are they taking you further away from the vision? Or even worse, are you just stalled?
Yeah, apply that to you. I mean, as a real estate agent, if you're watching this, or insurance agent, we put in here, our vision is to create a world where, boom, what is that for you?
Yeah.
Because that's a really hard thing to think about. It's like, yeah, I'm selling houses. I work for, XYZ real estate. I'm selling homes, but how do you want to see the world? And that gets inspiring.
Yeah.
That is what and ultimately in sales, you need inspiration every single day to be able to pick up that phone, to go door knock, to deal with the deals that are falling through. I mean, there's horror stories that I hear every single day of deals falling through. And this is that inspiration of why you exist in business. And understand, there's not a mention of money in there. We're not, money's not bad.
It did not say be profitable while doing this.
Yeah, it didn't say to produce as much money as possible for our shareholders, right? It's more about, hey, we want to create this, and this is what we're going to seek to do in everything we do. And guess what? If all of a sudden bottles of wine become the best way, right? To seamlessly connect and help business professionals generate, acquire, nurture, and retain relationships that matter most to their success. And we can tie that into our vision. Well, guess what? We might be opening wineries. It's crazy, isn't it?
I think we'd have some fans of that.
We have some wine fans out there, some winos. But the point being is, yes, we have people raising their hands back here in the podcast audience. The point being is, you start realizing how it helps guide your business. The real difference is, the mission statement, like you said, is that's what you're doing daily to obtain the objectives and goals of the organization. The vision is how you see the world and where you want to be.
So what to do next? You have your vision statement, communicate it, and relentlessly drive towards it. Jack Welch said, good business leaders create a vision, articulate the vision, passionately own the vision, and relentlessly drive it to completion. The only way that a vision, Jack Welch didn't say this last part.
Okay, this is Josh Steik.
The only way, this is actually from our blog that Jen wrote. Nice. The only way that a vision can become a reality is if everyone lives and breathes it.
Yep. Otherwise, you have a boat. Imagine a boat, and you have oars rowing in one direction and other oars not
you're just
rowing.
Spinning in circles, right?
Yeah, you're spinning in circles. But I heard this one time, and this struck a chord with me because I grew up, my dad's a pastor, so I really resonate with this. You have to be evangelical about your vision. You have to be evangelical about your vision. This is what you're living for lack of a better word. And leaders out there, if you're the leader of your company, whether it's a real estate company, it could be a marketing company for all I know. If you're the leader, you must be evangelical about that vision. It must be something where you are literally going out and preaching that gospel to your clients, to your employees, because it's what you believe and it's what you're trying to accomplish. So if you can't be evangelical about your vision, you need to think of a new vision.
All right, guys, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for listening. If you liked what you heard, please give us a 5-star rating on iTunes and subscribe to the podcast in your favorite podcast player. Make sure to follow Reminder Media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We also post weekly coaching videos on YouTube. You can search for Reminder Media and look for the Above the Noise series. We also have a fun video up right now, later today on Thursday, but it'll be up when this podcast goes out on Monday to play along with the premiere of The Bachelorette.
Oh, this video is sick. I'm not going to ruin it, but it is the best video we've ever produced.
You have to check that out for a good laugh, whether you're a Bachelor fan or not. You can find that on our YouTube and Facebook pages as well. We also just wanted to say this podcast is releasing on Memorial Day, so we wanted to take a moment to honor the men and women that have fallen in defending our country and our freedoms. We talk about living a life of freedom a lot on this podcast, but true freedom isn't free. It is paid for with the ultimate sacrifice so many of us have made for our country.
Absolutely. My brother is in the military. He's actually deployed right now, so shout out to Josh, wherever you're at, because I'm not sure where you're at, on some ship somewhere. But shout out to you, man. Thank you for your service, and all the other veterans, everybody that's serving right now. We appreciate you guys. We could not live the life of freedom that we're living right now without you.
Absolutely. So we're continuing our series on Marketing 101 next week by discussing content marketing and social media with 2 special guests, our brand content manager, Jesse Carlin, and our social media manager, Andrea Tremper. The following week, we have another special guest on, our first interview ever.
First interview,
Acree.
and it's a sick interview.
Yeah. And so we were not going to be on live on Facebook the next 2 weeks. Luke and I are both traveling. Luke will be speaking at Disruptor in Huntington Beach, California on June 1st, and there's still time to buy tickets. It's a brand new conference that's going to be all about applying successful social media strategies for your business. So if you get a chance, check it out. I think there's 19 speakers.
Oh, yeah. And the best thing about this
conference.
Best thing about this conference, just to plug it, is these people are practitioners. These are not just speakers who are just speaking around the country. These are people who run real estate businesses, insurance businesses, financial businesses, and they are practicing these social media strategies. And so they're giving you tangible things to apply to your business, not just speaking.
So there's still time to get tickets. Like I said, go to allmindset.com/disruptor, DISRUPTTOUR. Use the code MEDIA to get $100 off the ticket price. Make sure if you're going, drop us a note at podcast@remindermedia.com. We would love to meet you there. For this episode of Stay Paid, I'm Joshua Steik.
And I'm Luke Acree, and I'm going to close with this action item. I want you to go around. If you have employees, go to your employees. If you have partners, go to your partners. And I want you to do the exercise to get them to answer what they believe the mission statement of the organization is and what they believe like the core values of the organization is, because that's going to help you really develop your mission statement. If you don't have employees and if you don't have partners, go to your closest friends.
Yeah, right.
and see what they would say your mission is. Because I'm thinking I would love to do that myself. Yeah, go to your spouse. What would they say your mission is? Take 10 to 15 minutes to do that. And then, of course, then apply that to actually creating a mission and vision statement for your organization to help guide you to success. So, guys, the difference between a top producer and a mediocre producer is top producers take action. So take action on that today.